Sometimes kindness comes from where you least expect it. Not from the rich, or the powerful, but from ordinary people, those who see another person's pain and choose to do something about it. This is the story of Muhammad M.O. Ahmad, a taxi driver from Wisconsin, whose simple act of compassion made headlines across the world, and changed 2 lives forever. It was a cold winter morning in 2017. Snowflakes brushed against the windshield as Mo parked his yellow cab near the airport in Milwaukee. He'd been driving taxis for almost 20 years. Long nights, long roads, but that day was different. A woman in her 30s named Beverly approached his cab, eyes red, face pale. She looked like she hadn't slept in days. "Can you take me to Pittsburgh?" she asked quietly. Mo frowned. "Pittsburgh? That's more than 600 miles away." She nodded, voice trembling. "My mother's dying. I tried to get a flight, but everything's booked. I need to get there." For a moment, the air was still. Mo knew what that kind of pain felt like. The pain of losing someone you love. He asked her to sit in the cab while he thought. She was shivering, clutching her phone, scrolling through photos of her mom. Mo could have said no. He could have asked for thousands of dollars up front. But instead, he looked at her and said, "I'll take you. Don't worry about the money." Beverly stared at him, stunned. "You mean for free?" He nodded. "Family is everything. I'd want someone to do the same for me." And just like that, a journey began, one that would cover 1,200 miles round trip, through snowstorms, tolls, and sleepless hours, all for a stranger. The drive took nearly 12 hours. Along the way, Beverly told Mo's stories about her childhood, her mom's laughter, and the recipes she used to make on Sundays. Mo listened, smiled, and shared his own stories, about moving to America, raising his kids, and how he'd always believed that kindness returns in unexpected ways. They stopped only for gas and coffee. Mo refused to let Beverly pay for anything. At one point, Beverly began to cry softly. "Why are you doing this?" she asked. Mo smiled and said, "Because sometimes we meet people for a reason. Maybe this is mine." It was midnight when they arrived in Pittsburgh. The hospital lights glowed in the distance. Beverly rushed inside and hugged her mother, who was still alive, weak, but smiling. She made it in time to say goodbye. She held her mom's hand through the night, whispered thank yous, and silently prayed for the man who had made it possible. A few days later, Beverly shared the story online, calling Mo an angel behind the wheel. The post went viral almost overnight. Thousands of people shared it, calling him a hero, a symbol of selflessness in a world that too often forgets to care. When reporters asked Mo why he did it, he just said, "We're all passengers on the same road. Some people just need a little help getting home." Donations poured in from all over the country. People sent letters, gifts, and thank you notes to the taxi company. Mo refused any money, saying, "I didn't do it for that. I just wanted to help." Months later, Beverly and her family invited Mo to dinner. They shared a meal, laughed, cried, and became lifelong friends. Mo said it was one of the best nights of his life, not because of the thanks, but because he got to see how one good deed could ripple across so many hearts. To this day, he still drives his taxi, still helps strangers, still smiles when people recognize him from the story. He says, "Kindness doesn't cost anything, but it pays more than you can imagine." The story of Mo Ahmad reminds us that even the smallest act of compassion can create miracles. He didn't change the whole world. But for one woman, he was the world, at least for one long, snowy drive. Moral of the story: kindness is the shortest road between two hearts.